Hello and welcome back. I'm Grakthul and this is the BattleTech Backers Beta. This is a very early beta. There are likely to be some bugs. That being said, I've only encountered one very minor one so far. But it is possible that we'll get more, we'll get ugly ones. Who knows? This is a very, very early beta. I will have a link to the game's website where you can still join in on the backing if you want. I don't remember the exact prices offhand, so I don't know, and obviously I don't know how those prices are going to compare to release prices. Either way, there's no story currently involved. The only thing that you can currently do is single-player skirmish. We're going to try the Big Lock today. I don't know that I've tried this map. And let's try Twilight. Why not? And for our opponents, I only just realized that you can select random, so that you don't know precisely what you're going up against. It will be in the same value, the same lance budget as what you have access to, but you don't know what the makeup will be. I do believe it will be one of these. It won't be a purely random selection that equals 15 or less. Well, let's see if we can get a win. Had a bit of an abnormally long load time there. Not sure what caused that, but like I said, this is a very early beta, so who knows. Could have been something on my end, could have been something on the game's end.
Command interface initiated.
Never seen anything like this before.
It's a green area with water. I mean, they're not that rare. So we don't know what our enemy is, but we do know that they're way the heck up here. So let's just start advancing, shall we? Starting with our little commando.
What's the plan?
Yeah, you go up there and look in that
Yes,
direction.
Commander.
I did forget to talk about my pilot selection
Yes, Commander.
at the opening screen, so I'll do that briefly right now. This is the Panther pilot, and since the Panther is a PPC and an SRM-4, there will be times when they can only fire one of those two weapons, so I decided to give them precise shot,
On my way.
or precision strike rather. My commando has evasion. They're light, they can't take much of a beating. They need evasion in order to survive. My Vindicator has Angel of Death because I find it amusing. The Vindicator's main weapons are its PPC and its LRM-5. It does have a medium laser and a small laser, but if something gets in close, it's lost most of its firepower. So I decided to give a pilot that has a high piloting skill and can take advantage of melee attacks, including the death from above.
Copy that.
And my Shadowhawk, with its widely diverse weapon assortment, is an excellent candidate for multi-target. I could shoot at one mech that's close, and fire the AC-5 and LM-5 at something at a distance.
Order acknowledged.
Now, there's no guarantee that we're even going to get a radar blip from these. This is a fairly large map, honestly. Nope, didn't even get a radar blip, which means I get to move all four again.
You have orders?
Yep, get up into that forest.
Of course.
Forests provide some cover. You take less damage when you're standing in a forest, which combined with evasion really helps out the light mech.
Aye, aye.
I'm going to bring the Panther also into a forest. Go.
Moving to position.
I have noticed that some objects on the terrain, like trees and buildings, are destructible. Blow them up. I don't know if that will eventually eliminate a forest, or if that's just some of the trees falling over. I also have not observed any forests catching fire. Then again, I haven't used the mech with a flamer, so I don't know. This could all be stuff that could be implemented later. Speaking of things that could be implemented later, I would really love to see a save and exit while in a match. Specifically save and exit at the same time, sort of like Minecraft style. That way you can't sort of like cheese it, save scum it. Oh no, I didn't want to miss that shot. I'm going to reload and do it again. The reason I would like a save and exit feature is some of these matches can go long. It's not uncommon. I mean, I think my shortest one was 24 minutes, which isn't bad, but if that's your shortest match, then your longest match is going to be pretty long.
Sensors showing a new hostile.
Now that I have a blip, I will only be able to move my mechs one at a time. I'll move one, they'll move one. It'll go back and forth until one side has moved all their mechs in that phase, the other side moves the rest of their mechs in that phase, and then it goes on to the next phase. Let's see if we have any information yet. Okay, well, we see a locust. That's another light mech, and that's 2 mediums. So I can pick between either of the 2 mechs that go in this phase. Once these 2 are done, the enemy has 3 mechs going in this phase. So I will do 1, they'll do 1. I'll do 1, and they'll do 2 before it moves on to phase 3.
How might I help?
Let's get my commando moving. I want them to stop in a forest. There we go.
Consider it done.
And 55% chance with everything. Why not? It takes a while to run out of SRM2s, so who cares?
I understand.
Oh, wow. So yeah, the buildings are certainly destroyable. What do we have here? We have a Shadowhawk. Ouch. Oh, it could have been worse. Could have been worse. And now it's my Panthers' turn. I am honestly less... Yeah, I want information, so let's go here. I'm honestly less concerned about that Locust and that Shadowhawk, although that Locust has enough movement to annoyingly get behind some of my mechs at times. Okay, so I now know that this is a commando. Based on that, I more or less... Griffin, yeah, I was going to say, based on that, I more or less know that their last mech is a Griffin. I know which lance this is. I like this lance selection, actually. We're going to shoot at this Shadowhawk. Yeah, why not? With both weapons.
Firing all weapons.
It is actually possible to overheat your Panther, believe it or not. They don't have a lot of heat sinks. This is, for those that are used to MechWarrior Online, this is 3025 technology. There's no clans, there's no ER, no double heat sinks. So our mech is unsteady. Another hard hit and they're going to fall over. Our armor did not get breached, however. This is what I was talking about. The Locust has a hilarious amount of movement. And choosing to shoot at the Vindicator, that's an interesting choice. Ignoring the back of the Panther that's right
Is
there.
that all you've got? Yep.
Let's see, where can you get to with a jump?
Confirmed.
And now let's continue eating into this Shadowhawk. This is telling me where I will be on the heat scale if I fire all of my selected weapons. I'm okay with that.
Taking the shot.
Okay, so that is a slight bit of a bug. We didn't see the weapon animations, but not the end of the world. We at least got to see the damage that they dealt. Ooh, my poor little commando.
I've got blood in my eyes. sir.
Yeah, they have line of sight on everything there. Can shoot anyone they want to from this spot. And now we're going to try out multi-target. So by hovering over the locust, I can see that I've only got a 40% chance with the LRM-5 because I'm too close. 80% with the AC-5, the SRM-2, and then 85 with the medium laser. I am a lot more worried about their Shadowhawk. However, my chances to hit it from here are not fantastic. They're not bad, but they're not fantastic. Their Commando, I've got some pretty good chances to hit. And their Griffin. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. My primary target is going to be the Shadowhawk, which is to say it's target A. Target B is going to be this little locust because they're 9. And then I'm going to flip my SRM-2 and my medium laser to be on B. Here we go.
Confirmed.
So not a huge amount of damage, but the Shadowhawk, despite having a large number of weapons for a medium mech, doesn't actually hit that hard.
Internal structure damage.
Reserve, by the way, if I hit it now, will move both my light mechs into the next phase. And they won't go now, they'll go later. Not a great idea in this specific instance. There are definitely times where you might want to do that, but not here now. I would really like it if... I would prefer to get the Commando somewhere where it's not such an easy target for so many things, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen, so we're just going to move it further away. And then we're going to lay into that locust just to try and clear it off the map.
Locking on target.
Well, I damaged it, but I certainly didn't get rid of it.
I'm falling. I'm gonna need a medic.
Falling in a 20 to 100 ton object is bad for your health. It injures the pilot. Luckily, I get to go next, so they don't get to capitalize on the fact that my Panther was knocked down. If they had knocked down a mech that was going later in the turn, they could potentially capitalize on that.
Back in the fight.
Yeah, okay, let's go over here. Just so that that locust isn't directly behind me anymore.
Move order confirmed.
And then I should be at a pretty good arc for my weapons hitting this Shadowhawk. Yeah, these are good odds. I like these.
Firing all weapons.
A little bit of damage in there. The Locust just used a melee attack. Wow.
Ha! Barely hit me. Ah, that felt like it hit my spleen!
I love that voice set so much. For those more used to the tabletop, where you can't make a physical attack and a weapon attack, in this game, the category of small weapons, which includes small lasers, machine guns, and I believe flamers, can be used at the same time as you make a melee attack. Speaking of melee attacks, Locust, go away. Execute a death from above attack using your mech warrior's piloting skill to hit. Removes guarded from the target and deals massive damage and instability if successful. Causes severe damage to attacker's legs and occurs unsteady. However, our pilot has Angel of Death, which means that they won't be made unsteady, and their mech's legs only take half damage. I destroyed its right arm. That was a machine gun. Oh, the right leg as well. That is a little more significant. And, since I have a small laser, that should also fire. Weird. That should have fired its small laser as well. Possibly because it was a death from above, it wasn't allowed to.
That wasn't good! I'm here.
Yeah, I really want to get into a spot where I can... Oh, darn. This is the one bug I was talking about that I've seen before. The arch showing my... what I can see, essentially my field of fire, isn't showing up. It's difficult to see, but there is a tiny arrow on the circle. Zoom in to make it easier to see. So that does give me a general idea. As well, if I turn too far, those red lines will turn into dotted lines, meaning that they have line of sight on me and can shoot me, but I can't shoot back. I want to face approximately that way. The downside to not having that field of fire is I don't get those color-coded, well, I say color-coded, they're shades of gray. Those color-coded fields that tell me approximately where in my range the mechs are, the enemy mechs are. Okay, so we're going to split fire again, because I'm not sure if you saw it there. But my LRM-5 only has a 40% chance to hit this Shadowhawk. That's terrible. However, the rest of my weapons have a pretty good chance. And against this thing, I have 100% chance to hit the LRM-5. It's not a lot of damage, but I'm guaranteed to hit it, so why wouldn't I do this? Here we go.
Affirmative.
Little Locust stood up. And is moving away. That's probably for the Locust's best.
Do they think they can hurt me?
That damage was more or less insignificant. So, speaking of that Locust...
Yes, Commander.
No, I'm not looking to do a melee attack. I just was hoping to see... Yeah, that's fine. Nope, nope, nope. I want you to be able to shoot the Locust. There we go. I know I said earlier on that I was not all that concerned about the Locust, but I do kind of want to get rid of it. It can be annoying, and it can provide sight for indirect LRM fire. And it can, in fact, deal damage all on its own. Not a lot, but it can. There goes its second leg. It's out.
That would be a kill.
Well done, little guy. I'm not sure what that left you for weapons. You lost your large laser. That's unfortunate. Okay. Panther.
Standing by.
Yeah. And again, it looks like both weapons are at a reasonable chance to hit this Shadowhawk. Wow, the SRM-4 has only got a 55%. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna fire one. Because I believe the Shadowhawk has some cover. So this will eliminate that cover. Yeah, there we go. Ignoring cover.
Internal structure damage.
Their only weapon now is an SRM-2.
I'm hit.
How's that pilot faring? 3 injuries, and that's not great. Okay. Let's go with my Vindicator.
Aye, aye.
And... no, looks like I want to be a little further back. Assuming I'm reading these arcs correctly. If I'm reading those arcs correctly, the lighter shades of gray are better. Certainly looks like I'm reading them right. My PVC and LRM5 both have a 75% chance of hitting. And what happens to my heat if I don't fire the medium laser? It basically doesn't move. You know what? They're nowhere near any threat of overheat, so...
Attacking from position.
That was an excellent volley.
BattleTech. Down.
So much for my commando, unfortunately. Oops. There we go, that's what I want.
I'm here.
Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. Again, we're going to split fire. We're not even gonna move. This is not a bad spot to be in. Actually, no, let's move a little bit. Let's get back into some cover, because I don't think I currently have any. Oh, no. Looks like she has cover. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. This is fine then. Gonna split fire. I know I have better overall chances to hit, significantly better overall chances to hit this Griffin, but it's largely untouched, and I really want to get this Shadowhawk off the field. But we're gonna send the AC-5, the SRM-2, and the medium laser at the Shadowhawk, and the LRM-5 at the Griffin. Here we go.
Engaging multiple targets.
Well, that wasn't great. It injured the pilot, but overall that wasn't fantastic.
That shot went internal. Yes, Commander.
There really isn't anywhere I can put this. Yeah, I was kind of hoping there'd be somewhere I could put this Panther where they wouldn't be in line of sight of absolutely everybody. That doesn't appear to be a thing. Still, we'll move because I think moving does help make you harder to hit. And again, we're going to take advantage of the precision strike ability, only firing the PPC.
Confirmed.
Oh, and knocked it down. Very nice. Unfortunately, we're not able to capitalize on that. That's fine. That damage was insignificant. That's good.
Standing by.
How far can you jump? Good, because this thing's starting to annoy me.
Roger.
Yeah, that time he did fire a small laser. Interesting. I wonder why he didn't fire it last time. Ooh, nice. A miss. So the Griffin, similar to the Vindicator, the Griffin is largely a long-range weapon loadout. Unlike the Vindicator, the Griffin doesn't have anything it can fire well at very close range. That's probably why it ran up and decided to use melee.